It's your boy Triple Black, aka the number one stunner, aka the boss, aka three black hearses. It's murder. It's your boy. I'm back in the building, man. What's head? Yeah. Hey, man. Hey, bye. Hey, bye. Hey, bye. It's your boy Triple Black. I'm in the building, man. What's happening, man? What's going on? What's going on to everybody, man, out there, man? Anyways, babe. Mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm. Man, damn. Ha ha. Anyways, man, this probably gonna ruff a couple of feathers. It's gonna ruff some feathers right here, man. The age that we in a new age right now, man. It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. The rabbit got the gun. The sisterhood got the gun. You know that is, that's the rabbit right now. You know what I'm saying? Um, it ain't no fun, man. And I was uh, I was like watching a couple of videos the other day, and there was a bunch of women talking. Shout out to the women, man. Shout out to the women doing big on YouTube. Sheila E. I know a lot of those people screaming right now. Hey, they scream, they screaming, they screaming. She had an interesting uh, you know uh, podcast. I dropped the link, and if anybody want to come up and chop it up, man, holla at your boy. Um, and I know I fucks with Sheila E 100. She had this one guy, I forgot what his name is, but he had a book that he wrote, and it was very. I started to really listen to what he was saying, and it was about I can't remember what the book, but the whole premise of it was female nature, female nature, and the brother was spitting. He was spitting some fire, um, and he was around my age group, and he understands a lot of the stuff because I'm in the tail end of the was it Gen X, and the basically the last year of it. So most of the guys that I grew up, were masculine men, and there was a whole bunch of stuff that they didn't put up with. So that was pretty much the start of like the crack era. When I was a baby, but my parents came from a different country, so and I had both my parents, so I wasn't really subjected to a lot of the dysfunction that a lot of the other brothers grew up seeing on a day-to-day basis. You know what I'm saying? And my household, even though it wasn't perfect, it was more structured. So I kind of seen what the female male dynamic, and you know what? A lot of times, growing up in this modern society or it kind of hindered. I mean, it kind of hindered my development a little bit. I'm not even gonna lie. It hindered my development because the way I see the world and the dynamic that I saw was much different than what's the dynamic a lot of the friends that I had and neighbors and all this type of stuff. So um, it was much different. You know what I'm saying? I never seen a stepdaddy. I never been around no stepdaddy. I don't know about no stepdaddiness at all. What's going? Your boy Triple Black, and we got Soul Travel in the building, man. I should have hit you up earlier, man. You know what I'm saying? So
What's
Travel, what's going on, man?
what's good, family? How you doing?
Man, I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm just chilling, doing some work. And I've seen a lot of other people, and I've been going on a lot of panels and shit. So, but I was like, I got a show, man. Damn near almost 6,000 subscribers, man. Let me go ahead and cook. You know what I'm saying? I might
Show.
not get like the viewership like those other cats do, man. Shout out to all of them, DJ Kuda, Platinum, Surism, and all them. But you know what? I want to put my fingerprints on the game. And but back to what I was saying, man. Sheila E had this guy, and he was talking about female nature, and I gave credit to Sheila E. because usually if you give like a sisterhood like mentality up there, they'll push back on a whole bunch of them. You know, that the whole concept. Oh, that ain't me. You know, that might be all them other people. You know what I'm saying? Like what do you call it? That ain't me. They, that's the women. Y'all just choosing, those talking points. He wasn't really pushing back. And what the brother was saying is, especially people in our age group, you've been around and you've been around women before. You were saying the honest truth. And the thing about it is, they don't like. I mean, you know how like a hit dog hollers. You know how they
Oh
say
yeah.
very true. But the thing about it is, that nature is very ugly. It's very ugly. It's unflattering. Um, it's un it's just very ugly. You know what I'm saying? It's very manipulative. And if you look at the characteristics in how the modern woman or because there's no constraints. Women have always been like this, but they've always been constraints in the past, but now they have free reign. And they're if you look up the definition of narcissists,
That
they're
sounds
almost
dangerous.
they almost like the epitome, like at their natural state of narcissists. Don't you think? I mean,
That sounds
give us your
about that
assessment.
sounds that no, that sounds about. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay,
I can
yeah,
hear you.
no. That sounds about right. Like narcissism is definitely. Um, I mean, you could just look at a majority in general, a majority of their actions and stuff like that, and yeah, to female nature is narcissism. Like thanks to Big Daddy government and white Jesus, we're definitely as black men we're dealing with that. Yeah,
No,
yeah.
it is how like the whole saying was that, like they lack. I mean, like men and stuff like that lack empathy. We lack empathy and all those type of things. I mean, when's the last time you really met a truly empathetic woman that did not try to shift the blame on you for
That's like
whatever?
that's one of those oxymorons like jumbo shrimp, like empathetic women. You
Right,
know, it just it doesn't happen. I
right,
mean, now for themselves, right? They'll get real
right.
emotional for themselves if it benefits them, but like for other people, no, no, definitely
Yeah, they don't. They lack just empathy in general. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's a self-serve. I mean, unless like it's a self-serving thing, they really don't give a fuck.
not. Yeah, they're careless.
Right,
Some women are the most like you'll get more love out of a lion in the jungle,
right,
a hungry lion in the jungle than a
right.
woman. Like
Yeah,
they're totally careless.
yeah. But the thing about it is like they're like the epitome of the rabbit has a gun. The rabbit and they have the gun, and when they say that when you leave them to their own devices, they almost it's like they're just headed for self-destruction. And one of the what the guy said, man, was very, very, very profound. And he had like this thing, you call it mask, and was it mask makeup? I can't forget what the other thing is, but it's an acronym. Because the think about it, if you have a narcissist, right, they're very
Hmm.
manipulative.
Right.
And they're very manipulative, right? What's the first thing, like, say if a woman wants to go out or she's going to work, what does she put on?
Her costume.
Right. She put
Yeah.
on a
Her
costume,
make
makeup,
her
body
makeup.
shaper, whatever, yeah, all that
Right.
type of
Right.
stuff. Isn't that
Nails.
isn't that the epitome of manipulation?
Definitely. Definitely.
Right,
To get the BBLs and stuff like that. Yeah. Definitely.
right. I mean, what do they say that narcissists are? They're very manipulative, right?
Hey, you're onto something.
Right. But this is and the thing about it is when if we make this type of commentary, if we put the lens and then we actually tell the truth about it, it's very
You hate
triggering right
women.
now. You hate
You
women
hate
who
women. You hate women.
like
Who hurt you?
yeah, who hurt you? Who hurt you? who hurt you. Uh, but the thing about it is like, no wonder they don't understand, like, when you know how you get conditioned to act a certain way. I'll give you an example. If you grow up, in a household, right, when your mom's a dominant person and she's a very manipulative person,
Sorry
always,
about that.
twerking on Instagram and manipulating men, and then all of a sudden you have this culture of tricking, like these trick ass niggas that just use money to manipulate women. Where do you think they really got that from?
Um, well, the question is, when you see all the twerking on Instagram
What
and
I'm
stuff
saying
like
is,
that, on
if
so.
you grew up in a household, right, with
Mhm.
a very manipulative person by nature, you see them manipulating men, through other means with their
Oh,
vagina and
okay.
all this type of stuff.
Right, right,
And then
right.
now you have this culture of these tricking ass dudes that just, it's
Yeah,
not
he
even
he got
the
it from
man
his mama.
behind it. It's just like, yeah, you come his mom. It's not like, it's not who I am as a man. It's not what I say, or the leadership I have. It's what I have. Some material shit. You know.
Right, right, right.
So
Yeah,
they
yeah, yeah.
they leave with their wallet. You know what I'm saying? Shit. That's how my mama operated. Shit. She was getting finessing men, and you know what I'm saying? That she was like, that's a real man right there. He just gives me money. He takes care of me, and blah blah blah, and all that. How do you think those dudes grow up? They grow up thinking they just trick off. You ain't got to bring no leadership. You ain't got to bring no guidance. You ain't got to bring. And then
You
it's
just
a
need a
fair
wallet.
exchange. You know what I'm saying? You just bring your wallet and your dick. That's it.
Right,
What else
right,
do you
right,
need to
right,
bring?
right. Right. Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is like the failure of society. Like,
Right.
but then again, you're going back to a narcissist, right? A
Mhm.
woman is able to kidnap a man's kid from him because she
Mhm.
don't care about the man. She don't even care about
Yeah.
the kid,
Yep.
because she feels like she could raise that child by herself without the guidance of a man. And then she raised him to be like what you said, just, money makes everything, money, your wallet, that's all you
Mhm.
need. A lack of male leadership in your life, you don't need none of that. You just need money and you can make your wife happy.
Yeah.
So, and
Yeah.
so she creates the monster herself. She
Exactly.
creates these monsters.
Right.
Yeah,
She creates the trick dude that she used to finesse and
right.
get money from, drop a little, you know, thing on him, man. But shout out to Sir Obadiah. Shout out to him, man. You guys got to check out his stream. But no, that's the culture that's been created. You know what I'm saying? You broke, you ain't got no money, blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? So what do you think these guys start doing? You know what I'm saying? They start taking penitentiary chances and trying to live up this expectation that mama has created, right?
Instilled into their minds. Yeah,
Right.
and
Right.
in all an attempt just to smell some snatch.
hmm If you're not bringing a money or a dick to the equation, what else can you really bring to her?
Let's be honest. Uh, let's be honest
Let's be honest
here.
with
Can we be honest right now?
Let's go. Let's go.
Okay.
This is no cupcake zone. Hey, you already know, if you're tender hearted and your feelings get hurt, say your panties in a bunch, your nuts are crossed, don't fucking go on this goddamn podcast, man. Don't listen to me, man. There's no cupcake zone. You know what it is, man.
uh, she's basically a man herself.
Exactly.
She's basically a
Exactly.
man herself. So, I
Exactly.
mean, I can't make you a man because you're already a man,
Right.
So, like, the only thing you can operate is physically what she has, and that's her
Exactly.
vagina.
Right.
She's a man
Exactly.
herself. We're
Right.
dealing with men with vaginas.
Right. Right. That's the modern society, you know what I'm saying? And it's that programming. But there was a one cat that I was talking about. I was talking to him on another panel, and he's one of these men. Shout out to War Master. He's one of those like Trump supporting black guys.
Right.
He doesn't believe in racism. He doesn't believe in white supremacy. He doesn't believe in all these type of things, right? He just
Right.
believes, whatever he does. And then I was just like, I pushed back against that, man. I did it in a respectful way. I'm learning how to
Right.
be respectful and have respectful debate. I was just like, well, you don't think like the daddy government a little bit kind of engineered what's happening, especially in a certain culture or certain race? You don't think that they had any type of engineering to that? You don't think that they circumvent this circumstance for the underclass?
Right. Oh, you're asking me the question,
Yeah, I'm
or
asking
this
you the
is what?
question. Am I way off? Because he doesn't think there's any type of covert racism going on or white supremacy going on. I mean, the fact that you have all these, a certain, I mean, like race of race that are kicking all the
Hmm.
men out of the household, and
Right. Right. Right.
he doesn't feel that racism has anything to kind of do with that. But there's a certain type of men that just that are not wanted in the household.
I don't think it's racism because the black woman helps him do what he wants to do to our community. So it's she's driving the car. He's telling her where to go. Mr. Charlie's in the back seat, but she's driving that shit. Um,
Okay.
but but like I don't like to identify it as racism or white
Yeah, I know, because we're
supremacy.
men. I mean, we're men. We don't want to have like a victimhood
Right,
disposition. You
right.
know what I'm saying? Because
But
we
like,
don't. I mean, we don't. I mean, really, in society, you don't have a choice. You know what I'm saying? If you can't listen, if you ain't got no money, you got to go and get it by any means necessary. And if you're a woman,
right,
you ain't got no. I mean, you ain't got no money. You just create an Instagram page. Some sucker is going to give you some fucking money. It's just going.
right,
It's going to happen.
right,
You could call
right.
up. The network of simp that. When rent is due. Guess what? What is that simp going to do? He gonna pay it. You just give him whatever. I mean, whatever he like. I mean, but when they have and that's the dangerous thing. I talked about this before. When you have all these women that are raising these boys, and they're trying to teach them, but the one thing that they don't make these boys aware of, that they don't have a vagina, so they can't really manipulate like they mama could.
You know what? You just made me think of something. They don't have a vagina physically,
Mm-mm.
but mentally they might have a vagina though. Because what's the opposite of a man? And if you're not a man, and if you've been raised by a vagina, you're gonna think like a vagina.
Right.
So, and so the roles were crossed. The roles, like she became a man and her son became a girl.
Hmm. But one of the streams that I had, shout out to Topaz. I hope she comes through. She works in like psychology, and we were trying to break down why so many of these simp Avengers get so butthurt. When we were talking like this, they're probably, growling right now. Oh, man, you guys are just weak. Who hurt you niggas? Y'all weak. Y'all just don't got no game, or blah blah blah. And they're up in arms right now. He's like, how dare you talk about that? Like, how dare you talk about women's like that? You know what I'm saying? But she made it. She was like, well, the reason that they do that is like you're basically talking about their mama, most of their mamas. So
Mm,
that's why they get so angry, like when you talk like this, because who wants to, because the thing about it is, we have a culture. It's like no matter what type of ignorant shit that your mama do, she's still a queen, right?
right, right.
Hmm?
I just actually just left a room in Clubhouse. I
Mm-hmm.
tortured myself. I can't believe it. Like I stayed that long in that room. And
Well,
it was like the guy was like, the only way to fix the black community is to treat our women better. And it's like this guy, I think he probably was standing outside because I heard his cape flapping. That shit was flapping hard, bro. That shit was flapping in the wind, bro.
It was flapping in
And
the wind.
yeah, he said we must protect black women.
Yeah.
And like every time they said, I'm like, protect them from who? Like,
I don't know. I don't know. It's like imagine if they were saying protect this business, but you know what? We're gonna make you a consultant. You don't really have any power. You don't have any agency in this company, but want you to protect it.
right.
How the fuck can you protect it?
How can you protect it? And then I'll be like, how about if I got a wife and kids at home? Like, should I risk my life and possibly die just for the honor of some woman, a stranger?
Mm-hmm.
Like, should my kids and should my wife go without a husband and my kids
Mm-hmm.
grow without a father? Just all of the sake, because you know what, men, especially black men, our lives are meaningless, right? It has no value. If you could tell a random man to just run and go protect somebody that he doesn't even know, like a police officer,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
without a gun, without a vest, just go
Yeah.
and protect some random person. Like, so these simping forces are dangerous to society as well.
Yeah, man. I was watching a video, man. This lady, it was a JR Wisdom. Shout out to him. He does some good YouTube, right? So there was this guy that came. I guess he found this lady's ID, right? And she was from like New Orleans or whatever. He found a lady ID. I guess he tracked her down, and then he came. She came to get it, and she automatically she was like one of those typical, I want to expose you niggas type shit. So she put it on record, and she put it on record. She was
Wait,
recording.
hold on. The brother was doing a good deed.
He was doing a good deed, but I guess he was trying to holler at her too. He was trying to holler at her. Um,
Okay.
he was trying to holler at her because
He was
obviously she
being a
was.
man.
Yeah, he was being a man. He was trying to holler at her, right?
Okay.
So she started asking him all these these questions and shit like that, like you got a car and all this type of stuff, right? Mind you, she disqualified him really fast. You know why? And
What's
this
that?
is this befuddled me, right? She's like, yeah, I got 5 kids. Okay. And then he was like, yeah, I got one kid too. And as soon as he said he has a kid, that was his disqualifier. Mind you, she got 5 kids. His one kid was unacceptable.
Listen, man. And it's like, when you ask the question, what do you bring to the table, right? Like, this bitch, this bitch is bringing 5 other kids to that fucking table with her,
Right.
and 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 who knows what type of birth she had, right?
I
If it
don't
was
even
natural or
fucking know.
C-section. But that pussy was, listen, man, for every child, a woman has had plenty of fucking sex. So you got 5 kids, you done fucked around a lot, in my opinion. Like,
Hmm.
that pussy's all worn the fuck out. But he's disqualified because he had one kid, one baby
Right.
mama.
Hmm.
And who knows how much baby daddies you got?
Right.
So
But the way she was
there goes to your narcissism. There goes to your point again, man. I mean,
exactly, bro. It's exactly, but like everything that I see about the modern is just nothing but um, you know, nothing but narcissism, man. Big shout out to
what
Sheila
could you
E,
do for
man.
me?
Yeah. Great interview, Sheila E in the building. You already know. Yeah, what can
Who
you
is
do for
that?
me? Sheila E, she got a show, the Quiet Storm.
Okay.
It's the good sisters out of the sisterhood. I mean, like they're the outcasted sisterhooders.
They exist.
Yes.
She's probably a hated one too.
No, no, she doesn't. No,
No,
you
no, no.
gotta listen
She's
to it.
hated. She's hated
Oh
by
yeah, 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 yeah.
the sisterhood.
The sisterhood. The women that go on her panel and her thing like that. They're definitely card carrying sisterhoods, and not them, but the ones that are sisterhood. They don't really like them. They don't really come up there much, but they leave
They're
real
probably
fast.
calling her mammy too.
Mm. Nah, I don't. They haven't called her a pick me or anything like that. But
Oh,
shout out
really?
to B. Nah. Well, I don't know. I don't
Oh,
know. I don't know what the. It's pretty. Most of them, some of them that I've been on the panel with, they try to be on their P's and Q's, but sometimes I go on there and agitate them, so show their true colors. It's kind of fun though to watch them
That should
show
be
their
hard to
true.
see seeing through all that goddamn makeup.
But no, I mean, I was like, if you really look at the definition of narcissism, um, you would say like because a narcissist needs constant admiration and praise. What do you see on Instagram on a daily basis? What do you see on
Strong,
the
independent,
Instagram?
strong black woman.
No, what do they need? The admiration, the praise, the attention every fucking day. Even the
Oh yeah.
non-Instagram women that don't even make money, they just need like they're just showing all kinds of stuff. So what do you think that is? I mean, that's isn't a narcissist like that's a narcissistic tendency right there, right?
Yeah, and the need for what's up with this? Because man, they're seeking validation as well, right?
Right, right.
So like like so
The
that's
validation
man, that's
seeking.
that. Yeah, that's a crazy paradox right there. Like
Right. The
you're a
validation
narcissist, but
speaking.
you right, but you need to be validated. Like because if they don't get any likes, you know what they start doing, and this is what they always been doing. Girl, you beautiful. I'm like, she looks like Precious. You know what I'm saying? So now they're validating each other,
Yeah.
and but yeah, that's it's yeah, that's all you see on Instagram. That's all you see, your booty
Uh-huh.
shots and their best feature is their ass because
Hmm.
all their pictures
Hmm.
are of their ass.
Right.
So
But the thing about it too, man, is just like you remember. I remember like a couple of years ago, man. That word narcissist was overused. It was
hmm
overused, and then I started to think about it. I was like, damn, why do they think that every dude's a narcissist? Why is that term and those characteristics always um uh
projection.
projection? Yeah, it's projection, isn't it?
hmm 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 That's
Yeah, I
exactly
mean,
what it is.
right. And the thing is the rabbit has the gun now, and it's almost they have full reign to just kind of shoot anybody they want. They and you see all these tragic situations, where you have a couple of these women bumping their gums like they men and they get handled like a man, and then all of a sudden, there's I mean, come on, man. If you want to be a man, you're gonna get handled like a man, right or wrong.
That's the one thing I've never got. She's a female. You know what I'm saying? Like, she should have thought about that before she spit in his face.
Right.
Like you can't. They always say, "Oh, you can't hit a woman." It's like, says who? Like, like you wanted to be equal, right? Like this is equal rights and equal lefts.
Yeah, I mean, man, who wants to promote violence against them? It's like the all or nothing. It's like that feeling. Oh, I feel like you mean that hit women. No, I mean it's just we men don't want. I mean, who gets any goddamn validation for beating up a woman? Like you feel like a piece of shit. But shit, should you lose your life if she got a fucking gun or a goddamn
Right.
uh a knife or some shit like that? I mean, trying to appease people. Fuck no. Shit, if she ain't
Right.
got no damn sympathy for me, why the fuck should I have any goddamn sympathy for you?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just in and I know like a couple simp Avengers right now are probably, they probably are mad as hell listening to me right now. Mad as hell. Oh man, y'all are weak. The who hurt you boo.
Yeah. Yeah. The justice needs is
If you
real.
know, if you they're social creatures, and then you see a dude talking, and then he sounds like he's been hurt. Uh, but who's doing most of the hurting though? Huh?
It would definitely be that
It would definitely be that narcissist, man.
Right, that narcissist. I mean, but who are you like? Who right now? How many men have the ability to use a kid as leverage?
Uh, Listen, that's damn near non-existent.
Hmm.
That's damn near non-existent. I
I don't
mean,
know. I mean, I, I don't know. I've never met a man that be like, oh yeah, I got full custody of the kids, but you can't see your son, you can't see your daughter.
right, right, right. So yeah, yeah, it just it doesn't exist. And
Right.
like so, uh, again, now I was in this room yesterday on Clubhouse again, and
Hmm.
she said that she doesn't believe that a man should be included in making laws on what a woman does with her body. And then again goes right back to say, oh, uh, men shouldn't be included in it, but men must be responsible when you get pregnant. So it's like you're including me in it with. So you want me to. You don't want me to say what you can and can't do, but you want to include me when when you got your result 9 months later. Like women
Right.
act like their
Right.
pregnancy is all in a vacuum as well too.
Right.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
you,
I mean, yeah.
you
That
so
shit is
yeah,
crazy to
yeah.
me. Think about. I mean, the another thing is a lack of empathy. A lack of empathy. That's what a narcissist. So this, you have a couple content creators, or I don't even know what you call them. You might call them Satanists or whatever. But they really
Sounds
have.
pretty close.
Yeah. But anyways, black male babies should be aborted.
Yeah, that's the times we're living in today.
Hmm?
That's the
Isn't
times
that
we're living in
isn't
today.
that a complete lack of empathy for just human life?
So let me ask a stupid question, right?
Right.
It's totally stupid. It's totally stupid, but I still have to ask it.
Right.
If black babies should be aborted, why are you fucking black men?
I don't know. I don't know. You're being too logical on that one. You're being way too logical on that one. You know,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it was a response. And then one of the reasons that she said it, or no, there was another one said that young black males should have vasectomies
Oh yeah, I
as
remember
a
that one.
response because the Texas had a law, I guess, like late term abortions. They can't really do late term abortions anymore. I mean, it's not totally outlawed, but there's a certain type of abortion that can't be done anymore. I mean, but you got
Mhm.
40 different forms of birth control, you know, 40.
Listen, this bitch can dodge a fucking parenthood like like goddamn. Uh she has so many avenues, and it's always a man needs to step up to the plate. You just said 40 forms of ways to not become a parent, but men need to step up to the plate when that child is there.
Hmm.
Like, like, bitch, you done avoided stepping up to the plate like 40 different fucking times before you got to the
Right.
point. But it comes for us to be responsible. So there
Right.
you go again, man. That's the lack of empathy. It's not even thinking. That's the lack of accountability as well too.
Yeah, it's almost it's delusional. It's like delusional. But and that's a because I looked up these narcissistic traits and damn near all these traits we as men have seen. You know, it's crazy. It's just crazy how I mean it makes sense when you're not based on logic. You're almost just purely based on emotion. You definitely can't really see that. You can't really see that. You know what I'm saying? When you look at the definition of what narcissistic personality disorder is, it's the worst narcissism get tossed around. It's like a selfie obsessed, celebrity driven culture. Get through this shit. Personality involves a pattern of self-centered, arrogant thinking and behavior, a lack of empathy and consideration for other people, and an excessive need for admiration. Um, Others often describe as the was it the narcissistic personality disorder as cocky, manipulative, selfish, patronizing, and demanding. This way of come on, man, like come on, man. This is grandiose. I'm this and I'm that. I'm popping and I'm doing all this type of stuff. Isn't that like a grandiose like sense of self-importance?
Yeah, like you just said, you were rattling off the other one, like delusion. Yeah, it's like you've attributed value to yourself, like,
Hmm.
right? So, I mean, uh, 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 so you have to conclude that you're valueless if you have to give it to yourself, right? If you
Right.
have to name these qualities about yourself, no one said it to you. You say it to yourself, and y'all say it to each other. So
Hmm.
it's all a false sense of um, I guess to but again, like how you said earlier, they put on a makeup, they put on a wig, they transform themselves. So
Hmm.
to constantly live and manipulate, you have to do all of these things all at once. So yeah,
Right.
that's I don't want to be in that mind.
Hmm.
It's scary, man. When you think, what
Right.
the fuck is going on in there?
Yeah, and the thing about it is let me ask you this: should it be a surprise that more and more men are putting on wigs and makeup and wearing heels and shit?
Um, it comes at no surprise. They're being raised by these people. So, uh, listen, like how you said, allowing women to their own devices, like you're gonna end up with a fucking tornado, man. Like
Is it?
it's a fucking tornado, bro.
And here's another one. It's like lives in a fantasy world that supports their delusion of grandeur.
Wow, man, you're hitting all the nails on the head, bro. Um,
Needs constant praise and admiration. Oh, he's not paying attention to me. Oh, he's not complimenting me. Oh, he's not this.
Meanwhile, they've never said a word to you on anything you did to for them. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, whoa, like give me some type of reciprocity or something like that. You know what I'm saying? If you're
I
gonna
mean,
demand something, listen.
uh, the rabbit has a gun, man. The rabbit fucking has a gun. The rabbit has a gun.
I almost, you could almost legitimately claim pedophilia because in their minds they're like child, they're like fucking kids, but physically they're of age. But in their minds, you are dealing with a grown fucking child. The rabbit has a fucking gun. It doesn't, like in the movies, like when the monkey picked up the gun and didn't know
Yeah,
what it was a gun and shit like that. Like,
yeah, yeah.
man, that's a fucking dangerous scenario, man.
Yes, it is. It's a, di- but the rabbit has the gun though right now. Okay, a self I mean sense of entitlement because they consider themselves selfish. Narcissists expect favorable treatment uh, as their due. They they truly believe that whatever they want, they should get. I mean,
That is a fact.
come listen, like they I mean going to a club. I mean, like if most women like when they go to a club, do they feel like they should that they should have to pay to get in the club?
Not only should they not pay to get in the club, they don't even feel like they should pay for their own drinks in the club.
Right.
Like the entitlement is insane. It is insane. They got more entitlement than the senior citizen does for their AARP or whatever. Man. It's
Hmm.
like they feel like they, you know, this thing with this hole between my leg entitles me to anything I demand. And
Yes. You're not a real man.
you're not a real man.
But this, I mean, but this thing is I don't understand how this word was being thrown around so much, amongst the sisterhood and like all these, delusional women. I just don't understand how this word was being thrown around so much when majority of them act in this same manner. I mean, it's almost become their nature to act like this. Like, oh, you ain't a real man. I mean, oh, you broke. You can't afford me. Blah blah blah. What you got? I mean, come on, man. I mean, it the thing about it is like I said, that a hit dog will holler. A hit dog will freaking holler. Right now, there's probably some simp avenger that's listening to this thing and is all up in a rage. He's like, how dare you? How dare you disrespect our women like this? But it is what it is, man. It's crazy. Okay, exploits others without guilt or shame.
Oh my God.
Huh?
Oh my God.
Come on,
Oh
man. Let's
my God.
exploit others without any, like, you don't think that there's a woman right now that is fucking asking some dude, some simp, for a damn cash app or some money or something, and she's not giving them in return anything in return, and she's bragging to her girlfriends how she's getting free trips and shit like that, and she's not doing anything? Isn't that exploitation?
Yeah, my
I could be
cousin just
wrong
told
though.
me.
I could be completely wrong about exploitation. I mean,
Yeah,
it sounds very exploitative right there, and
my
that's run
cousin
of the
just told
mill.
me
I
about a
mean,
scenario just like
man,
that. She,
get what's a big get the bag, get the bag.
who
Isn't
you
that
getting it back from? Who you
yeah?
getting it from?
Yeah, let's read on this. It says narcissists never develop the ability to identify with the feelings of others, to put themselves in other shoes. In other words, they lack empathy. In many ways, they view the people in their lives as objects. Does that sound familiar? To serve their needs. As a consequence, they don't think twice about taking advantage of others to achieve their own end. Sometimes this interpersonal exploitation is malicious, but often it's simply it is simply oblivious. Narcissists simply don't think how their behavior affects others, and if you point it out, they will they still truly won't get it. The only thing they understand is their needs. So, like, you got this whole concept with foodies, right? So these women, right? Okay, let me ask you a question, right? Would you take
Yeah.
out a woman that you have no interest in, like on a romantic dinner that you have no interest in? Hmm?
Hello.
Would you take out a woman that you have no romantic interest in, on a romantic date?
I'll take her out to my house.
Right,
Um, but to a restaurant, a date, a romantic date? No, hell
right,
no,
right.
hell no.
Would you even if she, like, she wanted you, right, and then you were gonna be like, man, I still wouldn't do it because I mean I wouldn't even do it for the fucking free food. I wouldn't do it for the I just wouldn't do it. I just don't live like that. If I don't like it, if I'm not attracted to her like that, I'm not taking her on a damn romantic date. I don't care how much money she has.
Well, how about if she was offering to pay, but she wanted to sleep with me too? Like, and I wasn't hungry, and like I know what she really wanted. She was offering for dinner, but she wanted sex, right?
Right.
Like, no, and if you weren't attracted to her whatsoever, I can't take advantage of somebody like that because I'm gonna mislead them
Right. But on the flip side, that shit happens all the time. All the time.
all the fucking time,
That's what
all the fucking
narcissists
time.
do. That's what narcissists do on like on a basically a daily basis, you know, on a daily
So they
basis.
actually, the term for that is actually a foodie call
Yeah, a
instead
foodie
of a
call.
booty call.
They they frequently demean, intimidate, bullies, or belittle others. Damn, man. How the hell did they have this fucking term synonymous with men? Maybe very few men have the ability to do this type of stuff, but I mean, I mean, the, doesn't the sisterhood does this on a daily basis?
Yeah.
You dusty, you broke,
You
you dick
sure?
small, you can't fuck, you short.
You sure synonym to that word might not be modern women?
I don't know.
Because like,
This is
you're,
narcissist.
yeah, you got to look for another word for that. It has to be modern women
This is like
because
this is I mean, like Donald Trump was being called a narcissist. They were labeling him a narcissist, and I'm like, I mean, he kind of acts just like y'all. You know what I'm saying?
so yeah, so it's like yeah, I mean, this is what every man is going through right now. This is exactly. I mean, it identifies a majority of women that we deal with, and I even think if you even dig deeper into a study of a narcissist, I think women are definitely greatly more likely to be a narcissist than a man.
Yeah. Now, are they a male narcissist? Yes, of course they are.
Yes, yes,
There are, there
yes.
are. But I mean, but what I'm saying is without any type of constraint, wouldn't you say this is how most of them act?
You know what? Not only this is how they act, right? This is again, right? We're describing a narcissist because they feel like this is the norm. Does a narcissist know that they are a narcissist?
No,
Do they really know that they are?
no. That's why it says that they're completely oblivious to it.
Oh, okay, okay. I missed that part. Yeah, yeah,
They're completely
definitely.
oblivious to it. A lot of them
Yeah,
completely oblivious to it. But because now, because they, I think one of the things are this is one of the things. Uh, and this I think psychologically why how like they say they always say like 90% of men are virtually invisible to women. Like,
yep,
if they don't want to fuck you or have kids with you or see you have attractive, basically you're invisible, right?
right.
So because there's like was it the 90-10 rule now? 90% of the women are all chasing like 10% of the men. So
Right.
in their natural state, they have the ability to do all this manipulation and lack empathy and all type of stuff. So like the 90% of the men that they're after have the ability to do the same thing too. They can be very discerning. So
Brother, but
when
you don't see the delusion in that? You don't
yeah,
see the delusion in that 90-10 rule? Like, if we're gonna set a standard, right, and we're gonna say the most attractive people are 10% of the population,
hmm
what is that 80% thinking? Like that 80% is living in delusion.
hmm
To think that they could level up and get even let's just say on looks basis, uh,
yeah,
they think that they could get a better looking person than they are. Like that's
right, right.
delusion. I'm sorry. I just totally see that as delusion. But
No,
my
but
bad.
it
Go ahead.
makes sense. It makes sense because this is the what the lens that they're looking at the world, right? So they're the uh the 90% of the men have the ability I mean the 10% of the men have the ability to treat them just like they treat everybody else, and that's why they think a lot of men are narcissists, because the dudes that they deal with mostly, that they want to deal with, or they pine after, or who hurt you, boo, or who hurt them,
Right,
was the dudes that had the ability to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
now, a chick can have 100 dudes, not 100 dudes, but like 10 dudes that she's juggling. What do you think? Like the top 10% dude he can do the same fucking thing that you do. If anything, he can probably get more cooperation than you can. Imagine that, right? Like you're actually forced to deal. I mean, like you're forced to actually bring something tangible to him, and but we have a society now to where they've been told they don't have to bring anything tangible. So all it has done is basically set them up for a life of misery. And
Yeah. So
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I got my biological and desires, right? So
Hmm.
I'm a man, and so I tortured myself and signed up to a dating app,
Hmm.
and so got a response. We got on the phone, and like this is clear narcissism because this one chick I was talking to, she demanded to be courted while she was dating multiple men. She wanted to. She said she should be courted in a traditional sense. I said, how? Okay, so how is this fair? Like, how's that fair to a guy? Like, if you change the 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 how the contract's written for me, why can't I change it for you? And it's like she won't even entertain a man who's not courting her.
Right.
And like she made it clear, like, hey man, I'll the men I date, I sleep with them and like I do this and I'm thinking I'm like, okay, like man, that pussy has to be made out of gold and it gives you extended nuts or something like that.
Hmm.
Because there's no way I could qualify this. Like there's no way I could qualify for signing up for something like
Hmm.
that. That is just insane. Like they do whatever they want and they don't care what or how you feel at
But the
all.
thing, but the thing about it is, don't you think that I mean, the definition "she belongs to the street" would apply?
That's you and I know that's a fact. But according to her, according
Okay,
to
okay.
her,
Oh, she's not sleeping with any of these men, right? Is that what I heard?
well, she's dating with a purpose.
The purpose of fucking finessing. What the fuck wrong with you? Like, no, I'm just saying it's like the sheer goal of her being able to like would say that to you, like, man, I mean,
Yeah.
that's crazy, man. No, that is crazy. That is completely just insane. But the thing about it, this is run of the mill. This is run of the mill. This is par for the course. This is nothing like nothing out of the ordinary. This is what you get in modern society. And they say that
Right.
imagine you know but the thing about it is they've set the expectation for that top 10%, man. That's what Kevin Samuels always talk about. And the thing about it is if that's their expectation, how they're ever gonna be satisfied with like the regular dude, huh?
Hmm. Hence, April Mason, Rebecca Lynn Pope.
Right,
Um, that's what these women have said. Like black women
right.
expectations are just unrealistic. It's not
Mm.
unrealistic. It's beyond. it's like black women should literally write movies in Hollywood because they have some of the most creative fucking minds. And the gall to 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 believe that they could just get away with this shit, you know. So, um, but yeah, I mean,
No,
again,
the,
I
the
don't
no
want to
the
know what's going on in their
the
mind. You know?
delusion. I mean, the delusion. When you look at the statistics too, man, the delusion is completely. I mean, it's just not rational. It's just not rational at all. You know how like they be like, we need to be equally yoked in financially. If on average you're making less than, like, say for instance, how the hell if you want a man that's equally yoked with you financially, right? And you make 50,000. Why would a man that makes 150,000 think that you're equally yoked with him?
They think their bank account adds to their beauty.
Oh, okay. Well, it does. It
Yeah.
does. They can afford surgeries and makeup and all those type of things. So, in a way, I'll give that to them. They get really. I mean, they're what's the name, man? They're right about that. Um, shit.
Hey,
Uh-oh, the man hating crew boy gonna see this shit, boy, and they gonna get mad, boy. The female bashing channel.
hey, man.
No, no, man. I mean, it's hilarious. I mean, like some of this stuff is so hilarious, man. And the pushback, like, somebody like Kevin Samuels gets, man, that shit is just it's so hilarious. It's just fucking hilarious because and the thing about it is, isn't the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and act and expecting a different result, huh?
Yeah, that's the definition. That is
Right,
clearly the
right. I mean,
definition.
no, sometimes my mind, like my brain melts. You know why? Because you'll have, you know, I call them three-time losers. The three baby mamas with the three-time baby mama. I call them the three-time losers. But anyways, they'll come in there, and plus they'll be whatever, they'll be, less than whatever the beauty standard. I'm not gonna, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I'll give him that, right? And he's been on for almost a year and a half now, and every one of them thinks that they're gonna change his mind. That shit is crazy. Like all of a sudden, Kevin Samuels is gonna be like, "Well, you don't have to be, you don't have to be in shape. You don't have to be that, and you can still get a." I think they're almost expecting for him to change it. Like you've seen show after show, he gives you the same thing, he tells you the same thing, and then that's and the reason I brought that up, right? When we were reading the definition of narcissism, the delusion of grandeur, of being that special one. I'm special. Not only is it insane, but it's narcissism, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a great way to look at it. Like, um, listen, it's like, hey man, didn't you see that motherfucker just fall off the cliff?
Mm.
And you're
Let me go
walking
try.
right up to the plate. Yeah, well, I think I could fly. I could believe I could fly. And it's like, no, you can't. Like all of the other 10,000 motherfuckers before you did and couldn't.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
mean,
like,
I mean, do you think it could be in the diet or the water or some they're pumping them with extra amount of testosterone that's making them think all these delusional things? Is it more drugs? Do you think like like the weed smoking and the drinking, the Hennessy liquor and all this type of stuff is making them uh you know more like this?
brother, I don't know what it is, but like they go through an effort. They will spend money to change their appearance. And the one thing men have always consistently complained about, it was your attitude you have to change.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's what is it exactly that's causing them to be like that, brother? I don't know. I I don't know. But I mean, it's insane on how prevalent it is. It's insane on like like I'm gonna say the majority, and I'll even say above 75% of them.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
So
soon as you see the uniform, which is the long hair, the BBL, the weave, the long nails and stuff like that, isn't there certain
right.
expectations that you've already established in your mind about how it's going to go?
Oh, definitely, definitely. The different color weave, the long lashes. It's
No, this, but the what's funny about it is like you know they used to have these you know these movement protect you know our women and all this type of stuff, and they I mean and then not all of them, but when as soon as you see that uniform, I mean, have you ever seen an instance where they did not live up to that whole caricature?
what do you mean exactly?
That wasn't combative, that wasn't like disrespectful, that wasn't like just
Sure,
have you seen
sure.
that have the uniform on?
Oh, with the uniform on?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, that's okay. Yeah, no, that's a trick question. No, 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 no. Never seen it.
I've never
Never
seen
seen
it
it.
either. Uh-uh.
It's never existed. No, no, no,
No,
no,
no, no.
nah,
Nah,
nah.
no. As soon as you see that uniform, you already know what it is, man.
Like if you see a person with a badge and a gun and a vest and it says police on it,
Mm-hmm.
nine, I'm gonna say 10 times out of 10 that's a cop.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so if you're wearing the uniform, and come on, man, we all know what the uniform is. They even know what the uniform is, and they even know the uniform screams.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah, I
know,
mean, we know
it
what the uniform
screams
look
that
like.
behavior.
Yeah,
They know the uniform screams that behavior, but why
that
do they
bad.
still wear it? Like shouldn't they be able to like wear a uniform of a wife or a housewife or a submissive woman and then try to snare men into their trap or
But no, I
like
mean the thing about it is that doesn't happen until they lose it, and that's when they go on Kevin Samuels and try to figure out. They're
what went
bringing that
wrong.
yeah, they're bringing all that type of stuff. It's like imagine you going for a job interview, and you see an employee. This is a stable job. This is a stable job. You look at their resume, and they've had 20 jobs in the last 20 years. um what do you and then most of the time they quit. A few times they got fired, but what would you say about that person's character? Is it a good bet
um
that no, I'm just asking you, is it a good bet that that person is going to be in that job for long?
it's safe to assume by their judging by their history, it's safe to assume that no, they on average they might even just be there for a year.
Hmm. Right, right. I mean, think about it too. This is a triggering thing. It's like they be getting mad when men talk about you don't want a woman with high miles, extensive body count, which you know that's just I mean that's a they get mad when you talk about that. I mean, plus, first of all, there's a reason if you ask them what their body count, they get mad as hell. They want to fight you. They want to call you little dick energy, all this type of stuff.
That's a fact. That's a
Right?
fact.
They get mad. They get mad as hell about that. Mad as hell about that shit.
So if they're
But
buying a brand new car, don't
right.
they want it with 0 miles or close to zero as possible?
No, that's
So,
just no, that's just unacceptable because they need that experience, that whole phase, and all this type of shit.
oh,
Now,
okay.
I mean, yeah, I mean, the thing about it is, there's a leopard um changes stripes. I mean, changes. I mean, loses spots. Huh?
No, 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 not at
You
all.
know,
Not
you
at
know how they get
all.
that little grin on their face. They talking about like how they used to be a hoe. I mean, what are the chances that wholeness is not in them anymore when they try to settle down?
I think that's impossible. I think the whole lives forever.
Right,
It's I I I you shouldn't be surprised to see your grandma hold,
right.
you know. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah, the whole lives forever.
yeah, but I mean, we're trying to be logical here because I know this, the logic does really, it really, chaps a lot of people's ass when you be logical. If you let's just say, you're supposed to be the provider, the protector, um, you know, and the leader of this thing that's been through 50 to 100, different leaderships and, different penises, different that. I mean, what are the chances that one is going to display any type of loyalty when they haven't proven they can be loyal?
Track record is everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Track record is everything.
They said, I mean, the thing about it, it says it, was it the 48 laws of power? It says that you protect your reputation at all costs. But what the normal argument is, oh, y'all men be marrying hoes. Um, how you gonna know she a hoe? Well, I mean, I guess, I mean, we're just gonna have to find out the hard way, right?
I mean, that goes to us asking the question. Yeah, well, I mean, shit. Damn if you do, damn if you don't. Because if you ask her, like, what's her body count, like,
You know
you ain't a
what's
real man.
what's funny? It's like they said was it the that was it what is what's it the job of the devil? What is the job of the devil? The job of the devil is to convince you that they're not the devil.
Right.
That's crazy, isn't it? um,
Listen. Yeah, well, there you go. There you go. Answer, question and answer,
but
So,
I mean, but why are some of these old thoughts like leading? Well, we know why, because they're in competition. But if you think about it, if you're a young woman, right, and you know that your value is kind of attained to, that type of stuff, like your purity. Basically purity. Wouldn't you try to preserve that purity? If your objective is to get the best male possible, wouldn't it be logical for you to preserve that purity and just don't give access to your womb to just anybody? So,
um, you see, if you don't care about the person that's going to receive the womb, purity is not the question anymore. It's not an issue. So if you can care less about the person you're giving it to, or if you
mhm,
don't care about them at all, then purity is not even a factor in the situation.
okay. But they had they had a was it a somebody that I guess she sold her virginity for $5 million, for $5 freaking million, you know.
Wow.
And I mean, that's an example of why purity matters when it comes to especially dudes with the means for it, right? And the thing about it is a lot of women get so angry about this, and then they start using shaming tactics, just like, oh, why would you want a virgin and all this type of stuff. But wouldn't it make sense if you had the means that you would want something that's untouched, untainted?
Um, you're not going to go to the Publix and go buy your apple. You're not going to go to a supermarket and buy a half-eaten fruit, right? If you wanted to
No,
fruit, you
no,
wouldn't, right? Okay,
right.
all right, just
Right.
checking.
But
Um,
they've almost made like and this is a very good mind trick that I'll give the sisterhood and like
mhm.
the old thoughts like out there. Uh, they've actually made that way of thinking. If you want something that's like not touched, not been passed around and shit like that, is almost like deviant. Like you're you're deviant for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he's just like an R. Kelly. He's just, this and that. You know what I'm saying? Because you want something, that's not been, around the block a couple of times, and so on and so forth. Um, isn't that crazy though? Kind of.
um, listen, and that's insane. That's fucking insane. Um, but like, I'd also hear the remark, "Well, you're not a virgin."
Right. Oh yeah.
Um, so I mean, a man wants what a man wants. I'm sorry.
Right.
And also, we don't bleed the first time or second time or any time we have
Right.
sex. So I don't think a man can be a virgin.
Right,
So,
but I mean the pushback. I mean they've made it to where even if a woman's like say in her mid 20s, and she's a virgin, and you desire her, um, that they almost made it to where that is a deviant type of thing, like that's like there's something wrong with you, that or you're insecure or something that you desire, that's something that nobody else has touched. Imagine, okay, some of these, imagine if they went to like, let's say the Louis store, right?
right.
And in the Louis store would be like, well, we don't have any more. I mean, we have bags, but they're all the same price as the new ones, but we can only sell you a used one. How many of those women would walk out that store?
Uh, all of them.
Exactly.
All of them.
What do you mean? You're not going to
They,
discount it? No. You got to pay. You got to pay. You got to pay. The full price. For something that has
a
been
used,
used.
an
Right.
extremely used product.
Right. But if a man has that desire, he is considered almost deviant for it. Like there's
Yeah.
something wrong with him.
Expecting pure. There's something wrong
Yeah.
expecting pure.
Yeah. I mean, the whole concept of marriage, they wear a white dress because it signifies purity. I mean, that's the whole concept. Now, I'm not saying if you want to go and just thot it up and do whatever you want to do, get the bag, shake and twerk and do all this type of bullshit, um, you know, have at it. But there shouldn't be the expectation that someone, judging by your past, or all that somebody might not, men that have choices, that have the options, are not going to take something that's been less used. I mean, the whole concept of
It,
of being unused. I mean, that's, you can throw out the window, especially in the Western world. That's not. I don't even think that they're even waiting until they're 15 yet.
um, yeah, those words are causing a stir. You know what I'm saying? The options.
Hmm.
Practicing options is now what's scaring them.
Um, and so here goes back like I think men are almost like inmates, or they're prisoners. They're prisoners to their
Mm-hmm.
relationships or to the women they get involved with, because like she doesn't want you to choose any
Nah.
better, or she doesn't want you to have what you
Right.
want. So yeah, there's a major problem with
No,
that.
the brother the other day the brother said he was like, yeah, the he's like women don't like happiness. And he had to kind of clarify what he was talking about on Sheila E's thing. And it made sense. He was like he doesn't happy, it's not that they don't want happiness, but happiness kind of to the like the Western woman is it makes them uneasy. It makes them very uneasy. That's why, like, for instance, like when you have like a woman that appears to be somewhat happy, in her situation,
Mhm.
as soon as she gets around some unhappy um other women, clucking about Dick, Tom, Dick, and Harry.
Cluck
It
clucking.
almost, yeah, clucking like birds. Uh, you don't need it. Like but that's why so many of them try to sabotage what they have when they're in the and he broke it down. It's just like because they just become uneasy. They just become uneasy, and with happiness, they're almost waiting for the shoe to drop. And when they're waiting for the shoe to drop, they almost like, well, you know what? Let me get up out of this before the shoe drops. Because I know I ain't shit.
Well,
You know.
I'll give you a perfect example of that.
Hmm.
What was the most famous or favorite TV show for women back in like the early 2000s? Like,
Sex in the City, probably.
um,
Just for the Housewives.
uh, I'll I'll tell you. It starred an interracial cast of main leads, interracial.
Mainly interracial. In
Yeah, the two main leads
Girlfriends.
in it. No, no, no.
You said early 2000s.
Around two. I think it was around 2005. You know,
This is a sitcom or a show or
it was a show. It was not a sitcom.
on you got to give me some type of network or something, or some type of idea of
Oh my
network.
God. Oh, network. I don't believe I could do that.
Hmm.
I'll put it to you this way. I'll give you another clue.
Right.
Um, one of one of the male leads who was white was a politician.
Oh yeah, Scandal. Scandal.
in
Yeah.
in that show, she said she doesn't want easy. To the black man, she said, I don't want love that's easy. It's supposed to be hard. And when she said that, that fucking stuck with
All my life I had to
me.
struggle.
That shit fucking stuck with me. And it was a black woman who did the show. So,
Wow.
um,
Wow.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
crazy though. No, I mean
yeah.
that whole thing. I mean, there's women that I guess I think they call themselves a little, or was it Elizabeth Pope or whatever Pope or Olivia Pope or whatever. Scandal. I mean,
Yeah,
she was sleeping with a married politician that was white.
that was white.
Wow.
Yeah,
Nothing
yeah,
is wrong with that. Wow.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But,
That's
it doesn't. Uh huh.
Go ahead, man.
No, well, this is one of the leads. And when you said that they're uneasy when everything is going good,
Mm.
like just that couldn't be any truer. Like that's a fucking fact. You can't be wrong with that statement, because this is what they want. They want hard. They want crazy. They want chaotic. Like that's a normal relationship to them.
Wow. That's normal.
That's normal.
That's
Chaos,
crazy, man.
chaos is wrong.
Chaotic,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, toxic. That's the word toxic. I did a podcast. Those two terms are like synonymous with how they view masculinity in general. Um, and it does make sense because think about it. If you've been forced into these masculine um, positions, and forced to be, to act masculine, act like a man, or blah blah blah, um, it's it's only natural that you're going to, you know, you know, you're just not going to want to cooperate, because men are not uh we're not agreeable a lot of times because like you can put 10 men in the room and we'll probably not agree on a lot of stuff. It'll be like 50-50. Sometimes it's like, you'll have like the extreme guy, and then you have like the dudes in the middle. But if you put 10 women in the room, uh they uh they uh they tend naturally when they're amongst each other to be like, you might have 80-20. They because they're like with the herd mentality. They kind of like agree with each other. You know what I'm saying? At least
Okay.
like they form a sisterhood. But now, since they're being, forced into these masculine roles, that's why they like when you see a lot of them, they're so combative. They're so like, you ain't gonna tell me what to do. Not like, like that whole monarch, like, the whole trope. It isn't that very interesting though, that like they're almost like there's almost the expectation when you see some of them that they're not going to be agreeable. They're not going to cooperate. They're not going to do this. They're not going to do that. I mean, I think they'll spend um most of the time telling you what they're not going to do versus what they're going to do. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean that's the whole story right there, you know. It's always resistance. It's always the pushback, like that's you could open it's shut and close right there with that word right there. Just, you know, that's in their nature. That's who they are. They're always going to be what do you call it? Not is it combative?
Yeah.
I guess you can use that word.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, that's them. That's them. That's
Yeah.
them without a doubt.
Yeah. Combative. I mean, but that's it's just like it's weird. It's just weird. Like, for instance, when I, growing up as men, if somebody, comes and says what's up to you, shakes your hand, you shake their hand, even if you don't like them, you don't know them or love it. I mean, that's just that's just okay. Hey, even a dude that you don't even know or know, and then he, sees like, what's up, dog, or give you a fist bump or whatever, you go about your day or whatever. Um,
Right.
they're taught in this society, like they're almost not even supposed to even, I mean, like greeting or smiling or being just courteous to a man that's they not fucking. It's almost like, how dare you?
Well, and it was like it took my ex a hard time to comprehend what I was saying because she agreed that a woman should be submissive to the right man, and it's like
Right.
whoa, 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 hold up. So like you got this switch you can turn on and off to be submissive. So y- submissive is not just what you think it is or even only practice in a relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like you can come across someone out in the streets and this motherfucker could be a maniac.
Mm-hmm.
And if you talk to him any type of way, like, in his mind, he might be justified to knock you out or to do something or to cause you harm in some type of way.
Right.
So being submissive is not a thing only to your partner. It's a way a woman is supposed to be, period.
Right.
and and that's something that they fail to comprehend. It's like you can't being submissive for the right man. As soon as a woman says that, she's been
Yeah. No, you already
disqualified.
know what you probably know what her demeanor is already in the first
Right.
place. It's probably very combative, very just not very uh just I mean, to me it's very unattractive. It's just, I mean, the whole concept of it, you catch more bees uh with honey than you do with vinegar. I mean, but I almost think like, because again, uh one of this self-grandizing uh thing that that are part of narcissist character, um I think kind of almost fools them too. um because I think if they think like if they're being courteous, like um I guess courteous to a man, like on any
Hmm.
level,
Right.
it's almost like her kind of giving him like a I guess a mm, the green light to to talk, to try to talk to her. Or, like, and they have, and I, there's one young lady that I know that says she has a resting bitch face all the time, because she just doesn't, she feels like if she has that resting bitch face, less men will approach her.
Where the fuck is the logic in that?
I don't know. I really don't know. I really don't know.
So I'm gonna wander the earth looking mean as hell in order to not be approached.
Right.
Um, yeah. Listen, you don't want to be approached. Uh, put on a wedding band.
Mm,
Cover your body. Let's start with that. Cover your
yeah.
body and stop being all provocative and shit like that.
Hmm.
Um, so the easiest route, I mean, there's no logic in it. The easiest route, whatever makes sense to them, is going to be one that's not going to preserve or it's not going to be beneficial towards their image. It's not like, and then again, you're going to internalize something like this. If you, it becomes part of the costume too.
Hmm.
So
Part of the
yeah, I
costume,
don't.
yeah. It's crazy, man. And I think that um I mean, society pretty much gives them a battery in their back. That's why I say is that's why I say like the rabbit has a gun. Because if you think about it, what part of society says to them that they shouldn't do this? Uh, how many protections? I mean, like Amber Rose has a um a whole walk called the slut walk, right? And
Right.
and the thing about it is okay, and then so they have this whole protection now called slut shaming. So as a man, um think about it. All right, if you walk in a room, right, and if you're with a woman, right, and this is your girl. This is your girl, your wife, your somebody you care, like you have feeling that somebody that you want to keep, right? You go in the room and then you find out 10 of those dudes, or I mean, like this, there's 10 dudes, half of those dudes have slept with her. And I know there's some dudes, maybe they got like they like that cuckold shit and that type of shit, whatever. They don't, they say they don't care, whatever. But this is what you've invested in. This is what, like, your what's name. How would that make you feel as a dude?
I got the short end of the stick,
Right.
or I
So,
got
but
the short.
the shortest stick, or you know, they got what I got at its earlier stages, and now I got to deal with everything else. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, yeah. But the thing is but you're gonna feel kind of repulsed, right, as a dude, right?
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely.
Right?
Like, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
You're
definitely.
gonna feel repulsed. You're gonna be like, ugh, man, damn, you,
Yeah,
damn,
yeah.
ugh,
I
I got,
yeah,
yeah,
I definitely can't date someone that I knew.
right,
I can't marry someone that I knew someone else had sex with. Like,
yeah,
no, that.
yeah. I know, but that's the natural feeling that you have as a dude, right? I mean, that's just
Right,
what
right, right,
most dudes feel that way. I'm like, oh, damn,
right, right,
I
right.
got caught holding the bag, but
Yeah, and it's
but
totally legit.
right, but you have a culture right now telling you that your natural feeling, which what you feel, is not valid. You shouldn't feel that way. You should not feel that way at all. You shouldn't think that way. You should think it's like you should think that beat up Mercedes is the same thing as a Maserati. And if you don't, there's something wrong with you. Now, you're growing up. I mean, you got a bunch of little boys growing up completely afraid to kind of speak their mind. They're
Hmm.
complete. They have been almost neutered in a way. Like I'm telling you, they had. I mean, okay. And the thing about it too is they're almost emulating the same thing that some of these feminists and shit like that are saying that are acceptable. And they wonder, and then the feminists be wondering why a lot of these dudes, wouldn't it make sense for them if they've been telling these you can slut and you can do all this type of shit, wouldn't it be wouldn't it be logical to think a lot of dudes are going to start pumping and dumping just like these women are, right?
Yes,
Right.
definitely.
Yeah.
Um, uh, this is I guess like you were kind of uh, almost alluding to the slut walk. This is
Mm,
uh, you can't sex shame or whatever term they use for that. This is you get it gets fucking dangerous when now. Yeah, it fucking gets dangerous. Now you're trying to control my reaction and how I feel about something. Like, what's next? Like, because you hear this one chick on Angela Yee on the Breakfast Club say a man shouldn't feel offended if a transgender lied to him after they had sex,
wow.
before they had sex. You know, so like when does it end? When does it end? How what? Let's tell women they shouldn't feel bad after they had gotten raped, right?
Right.
Or I'm sorry to use the word, but let's say that, right?
The R
Like,
word.
like, yeah, the R word, yeah. So like they would look at us crazy. So it's like,
Right.
at what point do you think you can tell somebody how they should feel about something?
I don't know. I mean, it's crazy how imagine how many dudes get finessed out of money and finessed out of
Right.
what's the name, right? And you and what's the typical response from when a woman hears that you've been finessed, you've been played?
Oh, that's your fault. You should have known better.
Yeah, choose better women, right?
Right, right.
Imagine if can you imagine a scenario to where a woman gets finessed, out of money, and we tell her, you should have known better.
No, no,
Do
no,
you?
no, no. You
How
can't
would
say
that
that.
go over?
It wouldn't. It wouldn't. You know, like he is the worst person on earth or whatever to that person's the worst person on earth. It's
Mhm.
okay if it happens to us.
Right.
It's okay if it happens to men, but when it happens to women, like, you know what I'm saying? That's when they have a problem with it. So
Hmm.
listen, this is just screaming narcissism all the way. Like, you
It's
know,
complete. I mean, when you look at it um from the like it's just pure narcissism. I mean, there's so many double standards. I'll give you another double standards, right? Let's just say um a bunch of dudes were sitting around, and I would never condone this at all. I mean, about like, um like a woman getting assaulted, right? Just getting
right,
assaulted, in that manner, right? Imagine if a bunch of dudes would sit around and be like, I mean, even smirking or laughing about that, right? That would be egregious, right? And we would never do it. I mean, nah, fuck that.
right,
You would never do it, right? But if
right.
you put a group of women, right, in a room, right, and they were like, yeah, this dude, he got his butt taken. How many of you women you think would be laughing about it?
Maybe all of them. Uh,
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
maybe
You a
all.
booty man, like, you got your shit taken. You know, imagine, imagine if on the other side, like, oh, I heard, I heard they taking your ass, and then imagine if a dude like, oh, I heard, like, there's a rape, like, offering you and stuff. I mean, think about it. The lack of empathy right there. Like, most men would show empathy because, imagine if I had a daughter, I would kill somebody. There wouldn't be no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They would have to die. You know what I'm saying? If I found out about you, but the empathy, and what I'm saying is not cap at all. You know what I'm saying is completely real. Like, you don't see that. Could oh shit. Hey, soul traveler man, hold on. I gotta remove you. Kick you out, and then hey, I'm gonna put a link back up there, man. Try to come in and back within this conversation, man. But I think I need to put a new link. Put a new link in the chat. Anybody else that's want to come up and chop it up? This is very controversial. But I don't think a lot of people want to come on this one. The thing about it is the subject that we're talking about. They might be associated with that particular subject. I know there's some Pender Bears on YouTube, but I'm also on Facebook too, man. Check out the No Cupcakes on podcast. Uh, man, I gotta start reading content. That's content. But what I was saying uh, even from a double standard uh, standpoint, um, there's a lot of there's a lot of narcissists. It's like, I don't know what's going on, man. It says like you can't connect them. You will need to connect your mic before you can add someone. You must be on mute or something. But no, narcissism, narcissism. But narcissism. Yeah, man. Anyway, but I was we've been dissecting that. He said, bro, I think the sister would attack his phone. The sisterhood might attack your phone. You know what I'm saying? They don't like this type of stuff. I like coming up on y'all, especially on my platform. want to say something, I want to say something. You heard me. Anyways, man, and I don't even go on Facebook no more, man, because I've been kicked out of that thing so many damn times. It's ridiculous, man. Like, I can't even make no comments anymore or anything like that, man, without being offensive or some shit like that, man. It's crazy, man. It's really crazy that Facebook, man, they changed a lot. It's I guess because Mark Zuckerberg. I don't know what the hell the deal is on Facebook, man. I mean, like you just go to Facebook, like literally, I can go on like a group page or some shit, and then I'll say something, and then all of a sudden, I get like we call it one of those ban things where they ban you or something like that. I mean, it's on. I mean, I got to the point I don't even bother. I'm like, nah, I'm not even gonna bother. I'm not even. Yeah, it's it's so fun because it's like you almost can't say anything no more without the social justice policemen trying to police your thoughts. You say this, and you just hate women. You just hate this, you hate that. It's so it's exhausting. It's exhausting. Um, you know, Back in the day, you used to be able to go in and kind of almost try to say what you want to say, and it was people's feeling like I heard or whatever, but it is what it is. Now it's just like this PC shit. Like you can't really say nothing. Like you really, literally, they try to police everything you fucking say on these platforms like Facebook, Instagram, all those type of things, because they want to paint this this feminist narrative. Like we are these all men are these like cavemen that that are emotional abusers and all this type of stuff. We're not, and we just have opinions that differ from yours, which is fine. I should not. I don't think. I mean, any man that comes around me and I'm sitting here agreeing. I mean, I would not agree. I mean, we're just not agreeable people. You know what I'm saying? We're just not agreeable people. We got our own different flavors. But it doesn't mean nothing. It doesn't mean that I can't fuck with you. I got most of my friends, me and them were polar opposites, which is fine. It's polar opposites. I mean, I don't fuck with them any less, but we're polar opposite. I mean, a lot of our core values are the same, but the way that we do and operate and we look at the world is going to be completely different. And that's okay. That's okay. I don't have to feed into your narrative. I don't have to. If you think, the sky is blue, go ahead. I think you're a dumbass, but hey, that's your prerogative. You can think whatever the hell you want to think. It's just yours. Now when they're now we have a thing where people they're even policing thought. Like, how dare you think this way, or you can't think this way. You don't have the ability to think this way, or you shouldn't think this way. This isn't what come on, man. Hey, we're raised in a culture of young boys, man, that are confused, man. They don't even know what. I mean, they think they almost think that they should be feminine too. Nah, bro. Grow some fucking nuts. Like, grow some damn nuts. Any woman that tells you that you need to be feminine or you need to tap into your feminine, uh, whatever energy, whatever, man, you need to tell her to go to hell. Like, seriously, tell her to fucking go to hell. Like, now you can be understanding, because you might have a daughter or a wife or a girlfriend. You can be empathetic or whatever, but I mean, you're not supposed to have that type of energy. That's why, you can't be afraid of your masculinity, man. You can't be afraid to say what you want. You can't let people police your thoughts. If you think a certain way, you know what? Maybe my problem is I'm a little bit too vocal about how I think, and the way I think, I just think, I just think a certain way, and I don't really give a fuck. I mean, how other people think about it. sanitize myself, just to and just for other people. But the thing about it is when you do that, sometimes you come off, you know, you, you know, you come off as phony because you're not really being your genuine self, and people can see right through that. So that's the advice that I would give to young men and stuff like that. Man, be your freaking self, man. If you know, I mean, if you got male energy running through you, don't act like a damn woman. Don't fucking act like a woman. There's nothing wrong with women. I ain't saying we hate who hurt you about. But anyway, man, hey, y'all already know me. I'm about to get up out of here, man. Y'all know Triple. Yeah, you know Triple like the fucking truth. You know what I'm saying? Truth, no cupcake zone podcast. You know, man. I have been, over the last 5 years now, I've just never been consistent, man. I came out the gates, busting shots, and I got my equipment, like that, mixers and all this stuff. I gotta get that in order, man. But shout out Big Dream Sports, Andrew, he'll be filming the game tonight probably, and I'll make sure to come through, to come through, show some love, show some support, man. If you guys want to watch a quality high school football game, yeah, man, go to the Dream Sports. It's on YouTube, man. What's good, family? Man, what's good, man? We was up here chopping it up. My boy Soul Traveler had to go, because I think his sisterhood might have heard some commentary that we made, and it just come and derailed the conversation. I think the sisterhood might have heard something and be like, well, y'all just saying all this type of stuff about these lenders. Oh, heard y'all. They might have reported us to YouTube, guy. So he turned off his mic. He censored him. Fucking God damn. Come on. Y'all need to go somewhere, man. Y'all got all kinds of channels, talk about depicting, saying that we need to neuter young black men and all this type of shit. And we up here just saying, about narcissism, man. I just, talk about the old term of narcissism. And, if the shoe fits, wear it, man. And hey, listen, men have been called all these type of names and all these type of things for years, man. They've made vast improvements, man, and getting their shit together, and but we live in a society right now where the rabbit got the gun. The rabbit got the gun. The rabbit does whatever the fuck he wants to in society, and you can't tell them nothing. But the only problem is, man, especially in Western society, a lot of these men are just fucking leaving. They're just leaving. They're going to other countries. They're traveling. You know what I'm saying? They're getting better cooperation. Through other means, like through other countries and things like that. So, man, y'all got a big problem on y'all hands, man. And a lot of dudes, man, they're not standing for it, man. They're just not gonna put up with fuckery. You can wave that little gun, that little rabbit gun, all you want to. It doesn't mean that men are going to take that shit too much longer. They're not. You know what I'm saying? That's why the level of pumping and dumping y'all motherfuckers way. Hey, you can be on Instagram twerking how you want to, man, but ain't nobody gonna take you serious, man. Ain't nobody taking your ass serious. You get mad, you bump your guns, clock, clock, clock. You can be cluck clucking. Man, they don't give a fuck. Yeah, man. That's what it is, man. But anyways, man, I'm out of this bitch, man. There's no Cupcake Zone podcast, man. Y'all check me out on YouTube, man. Y'all check me out on Spreaker. Y'all check me out all over the place. Anyways, man, make sure you guys like the stream. I might go on a couple streams a little bit later. Talk some shit, swallow spit, talk some shit, swallow spit again, And before before I leave, man, I just want to give another big shout out to content creators, man, with the manosphere. You know, um, it's it's good, man. It's good, man. I mean, even though there might be a lot of arguments and shit like that, the manosphere is, I think the manosphere is headed in the right direction. You know, we kind of, I think a lot of people cleared out the gunk. Um, you know, the different sectors of the manosphere are kind of emerging in itself. You have choices, man. If you want to go, to Toronto, this shit, you're gonna get a whole different thing. If you want to go to cooler space, you're gonna get a whole different thing. Platinum space, you're gonna get a whole different thing. Y'all boys keep at it, man. And you got, the mirror, the views and all this type of stuff too, man. Poor man podcast and stuff like that, man. And the thing about it is viewership. With some of these young content creators, especially if you can bring something unique to the space, something that people haven't heard of, something that's out of the box, man. I think that it's going to be good for you, man, because the one thing we don't want to do, man, is remain stagnant, or people get stagnant in their ways, and and they don't want to. They kind of follow trends, and that happens a lot on YouTube. I understand it's a business, so you have some content creators that when there's a trend topic, they're all talking about the same thing. To me that's kind of boring, but it is what it is, man. I think I think it's very effective because a lot of people search for the same shit. They search for the same stuff. They talk about the same stuff. So I mean, it's very easy. It's almost like a cheat code. A cheat code. You see what's trending on YouTube. You go in there. You do the same thing. You use the right keywords. You're gonna get views. You're gonna get listeners. You're gonna make money. So but me, I try to think out the box, man. I try to think out the box. I try to. I try to do something different. I want to do something that's out of the ordinary, something non-conventional. You know what I'm saying? Talk about a different subject. You know what I'm saying? That's what my whole thing is, man. So salute to the guys, man. Salute to everybody, man. I'm out of here, man. I'll let you, boy.